on in and take a seat. How are you doing today? Right. I believe that you're coming to visit me today because you've had some problems with your hearing, is that right? How long have these problems been going on for? Quite a while, I see. Right, okay. So we're going to be performing quite an extensive ear cleaning today, aren't we? Great. Okay. I just want to take a little bit of info before we begin, and then I'm going to do a very quick hearing exam on you, just so I can see to what extent the damage your hearing is undertaking at the moment. Do you know if you have any previous history of eardrum damage, or is it just that we're struggling with the build-up of wax? Okay, so it's a common occurrence that you're sort of overproducing. No problem. Okay, so could I just take your first and last name just to confirm the appointment? Okay, and your date of birth for me. Great. And you say that this problem's been going on for about 3 or 4 years. Okay, and have you had a cleaning before? When was the last cleaning? Okay, and was that with us? Great. Okay, if there is anything else that you would like us to have a check over today, if you've noticed any changes in maybe the quality of the earwax that you've been experiencing, or if there's anything externally to the outer ear that you've been concerned about. Right, okay. So there's been a lump on this ear at the back, right, okay, and it's just been persistent. Okay, has anybody had a look at it before? Okay, well, what I'll do is I'll just have a look for that lump first before we begin the hearing assessment, just so I can be certain that we don't need to do any sort of skin graft. Nothing to worry about, but we like to be quite thorough, don't we? So I'm just going to prep my hands and make sure that they're nice and clean, so that I don't cause any further infection if there is one. Okay, just let that dry for a moment. I'm going to be using antibacterial gel and also gloves just to add a double layer of protection for you and your skin, okay? The skin can be very, very sensitive, and especially if you're experiencing a problem and an issue already, we don't want to be adding any extra bacteria to that area. Okay, so let me just pop my gloves on. It's a very hot day today, so it's probably not going to be too easy for me to pop these on. I do apologise. I've noticed that every time it does become a little bit warmer, these gloves are just not playing ball. We've recently buying the non-powdered ones, and it definitely makes a huge difference to have the powdered ones, so maybe we'll buy those ones next time. I think there was a stock shortage this time when there was an order put in. There we go, that one wasn't so bad. Alright, my lovely, if you just sit still, I'm just gonna come round here and have a look at this ear for you then, okay? Just tell me if it's hurting. So is this what we're talking about here, this little lump? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna press on it here. Is it painful? Just uncomfortable. Okay. Alright. I'm just going to take a little tool that I've got here. It has a little torch on the end and it's almost like a magnifying glass, okay? And I'm just going to look up at the screen behind you and I'm just going to see if I can see the surface of the skin area in a little bit closer detail here. You're doing so well. Okay. Alright, so there is no difference in pigmentation. So that's a really good sign. Let me just make a note for you, but I would suggest you go and see a dermatologist about this. As I said, there's no change in pigmentation. You know, there is no sort of evidence that there would be any sort of mole or anything like that with the lump. It does look to me as though it is a cyst, so it would probably be most comfortable for you to get this removed, especially if it's causing you pain and irritation when you're sleeping on that side. Yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do is, if I refer you to our in-house dermatologist, and she'll get in contact with you about having another check on that. Obviously, you know, I can have a look as much as I like, but I'm not an expert, so she'll be able to identify definitely for you if it is a cyst and then hopefully get it removed for you. Okay, alright, so let's move on to our little hearing test. We're just going to do a few little games, okay? So firstly, I want you to close your eyes for me, and I'm going to flutter my fingers on either side of your head like this, okay? And I want you to tell me which side you hear it on. Alright, so close those eyes for me. Very good. Okay. Good. Good. Okay. Good. Very good. Good. That was a trick one. Both good. That's great. Okie dokie. So directionally you're able to still tell where sound is coming from. Next we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to flutter my hands and I'm going to gently move them away, and I want you to tell me when you can no longer hear them, okay? Okay, so close your eyes again and tell me when you can no longer hear. Good, okay. Okay. Good job. Okie dokie. Okay, right, and let's do that again, but this time I'm gonna slowly bring the sound back in, and I want you to tell me when you can hear the sound. Okay, close your eyes again. Ready? Okay. Okay, good. Good. Great. Okay. Next, I am going to be whispering a few different words into either side of your ears, and I want you to simply repeat the words back to me. Okay, so we're going to be assessing how clearly and coherently you can hear. Okay. Book. Very good. Dress. Wire. Very good. Strawberry. Strawberry. Good. Slipper. Good. Micro. Very good. Jewel. Good. Crisp. Good. Floral. Chopstick. Good. Lemon. Good. Red. Good. Blanket. Good. Rustle. Good. Hanger. Good. Scissors. Good. Zest. Good. And last one, basket. Great, okay. You were relatively coherent with those. There were a few that you maybe misheard a little bit, but they were within the generalised area of words. But you're definitely going to need clearing, aren't you? Hopefully it will help you hear a little bit better. So I'm going to start ear by ear. We're going to start initially with a just gentle assessment of how much we're needing to clear. I'm going to be taking my torch here. Okay, and we'll start off with this ear again. I'm just going to be taking my torch and having a look inside, alright? So if you stay nice and still for me, that's great. Just with my other hand, I'm going to be sort of moving the ear around a little. Just like this, that's it. Just making sure that I'm not missing any areas. Okay, and the other ear for me. Stay nice and still. Nothing's hurting now. No issues here. Okay. So, I've had a look inside the ear and there is definitely a lot of wax built up. So what I suggest our plan of action is that I first go in with a scraping tool to try and remove as much internally as I can. And then we will add the solution to drain the ear at the end. Is that okay? Alright, so let me just move my tools a little here. Okay. So I'm going to first start with an alcohol wipe, just to make sure that the ear surface area is nice and sterile itself, okay? I'm just gonna have a good wipe down of the external ear. Okay, let's get a nice clean wipe for the second ear. Again, just stay nice and still. Okay. Looks great. Alright. So, this will be the tray that I'm going to be draining the ear with. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop some solution into your ear and hold the tray underneath. It will also use this to collect any of the wax that I remove by scraping first, okay? So let me just grab my scraping tool again. Okay, so I'll just pop this on my knee, and I have my little magnifying glass here, and I'm going to be using that so I can see quite nicely into the ear, okay? So stay nice and still for me. To the other ear. Now we can finish with the solution. So it is a simple liquid solution, but it's going to sort of fizz a little bit in your ear. It may sound a little bit strange at first, okay? But it's just going to take 10 seconds or so to sort of fizz and loosen up before it starts to drain. Okay, so just tilt your head ever so slightly for me and drop it into one side first. Okay, stay nice and still. Good job. You feel that fizzing? Okay. Just give it a second. Okay, I'm going to pop this underneath your ear here, alright? And just tip your head. Good. Okay. And you should feel it start to drip out now. Good job. Okay. And now tilting your head the opposite way, I'm going to drop the solution into the other ear. Okay. Good. Okay, I'm popping that underneath your ear here and tilting this way now. It's coming out really nicely. Okay, great job. Right, so your ears are looking a little bit red and irritated now, so what I would suggest is that we leave that in here for today. And you come back maybe 2 or 3 weeks time and we'll do the same process, repeat the same process again. Just because I feel as though your ears are incredibly sensitive and I don't want to upset them too much. Okay, I think we're probably better doing small and regular appointments as opposed to long and extensive cleanings. Okay. Alright, and of course, aftercare wise, please remember, do not use any Q-tips, cotton buds in your ears, okay? All that's doing is pushing that wax further in. I know it can feel quite relieving, but long term we're just doing more harm than good, okay? Alright, great job. Steamy baths and showers can also be really helpful for loosening that wax and helping it to loosen as well. Alright, okay, so we are all done for today. It's been a pleasure meeting you. I will get that note over to the dermatologist to get you referred, and otherwise I will try and contact you to make an appointment in about 3 weeks with me. Alright, no problem. Thank you so much for coming in. I hope you feel a little bit relieved. Alright, bye bye.